All right, so we got us a milling job coming up. So I gotta get the saw prep on for Tuesday. Headed to Fredericksburg to do a couple chestnut oak logs that are 10 feet long and 36 inches in diameter. Supposedly, we'll see. So instead of muscling through the logs with that steel 660, which it will do it with that 42-inch bar, but only just. That's about max. So you lose about 6 inches on these Alaskan mills. So if you're running a 36-inch bar, you're going to get roughly a 30-inch cut, a 30-inch max cut. And then the bigger the saw, the easier the job is. Typically, it'll cut the wood easier. So these Alaskan mills really need really a minimum of a 60 cc saw. So like your steel 261. What would the Husky be? Like a Husky, like the 560, I think, maybe, might be one, like 360, 365, something like that. I don't know. A good all-around saw that'll get you by on just about everything. Firewood, that won't beat you to death on firewood. Good for bucking, cutting them into logs, cutting logs up into sections to split. And felling is like your 70 cc saws, like your 372, 572 Huskies, your Stihl 400 series, or like your old like a 360 is not a bad saw. I think that's a 65 cc saw. I'm not sure. I had one and I wasn't crazy about it. Over there on the wall is a Echo 590, which is a 60 cc saw. To me, that's the best saw in the world for the money, for all around. It starts easier than a Stihl. It's still tunable, so they put a tunable carb in it. It's got your high and low, and your idle. It's an excellent saw. The only thing it doesn't have is like part support. It's an Echo. It's made in Japan. Great saw. It's got piles of power for a 20. It comes with a 20-inch bar. Comes with a good bar, good chain. They were like $400 brand new when I got that one. I see them on Facebook regularly for like in the low to mid threes, and if it's one of those deals where they've only been used once or twice for clearing up a storm, totally worth it. Great saw. I've cut a lot of wood with mine, and it's just starting to get kind of finicky. And I'll probably send it down the road and get a couple $100 for it, let somebody else mess with it, and get something else. I mean, the Stihl 260s are really tough to beat. They're just an excellent all-around saw. Your 545 is a good saw. Husky 545, that's an excellent little saw for just about everything. It's a little underpowered, but it's still pretty dang good. But if you want to do some milling, say run up to like a 28-inch bar, your 70 cc's. Well, if you're on the East Coast, mainly into hardwoods like oak and stuff like oak hickory, stuff like that, and you want to do some milling, then yeah, maxing probably 28, and that's probably going to be pretty hard on that saw. But if you're out west and you're mainly into softwoods like Doug firs and Pondo pines and stuff like that, lodgepole pine, they'll eat. Those 70 cc saws will eat through that stuff with a 28-inch bar, and then you're going to be able to mill a 22-inch log with it. So they're excellent. But if you're going to get into the big dogs, those 95-ish, 95 cc saws like your 395, your Husky 395s and your Stihl 660s, they're pretty tough to beat. You can still handle them pretty okay. Even with a 42-inch bar, I was next door. They were clearing some woods, mostly tree of heaven crap. I've got a pile of locust logs over there that I'll bring over here for burning the next couple years. And I took my 660 with a 42 over there because you can get in there and you just throw that saw in there and let it eat, and you're not anywhere near the logs when they go to roll and things like that. It's a little bit safer. But the 660s are excellent saws. But the next step from that is like this guy, which is the Husky 3120 or the Steel 800 series, like your 080s, your 090s, your 880s. I think what's out now is the 880. And now they got clones of the 880s, which are supposed to be pretty dang good milling rigs, you know. And they take steel parts. But these guys, just this class of saw, I mean, they're pretty terrifyingly powerful. This has got the big bore kit, and it's 125 cc. But anyway, so I need to get him sharpened. This is a really, really long chain. It's 138 or 148 drive length, something like that. I've already got the right cutters done, and they are cat claw. But I wanted to go over a couple different sharpeners. First, this is the Timberline. It's an excellent little carbide deal. They can be had on, I've seen them on, I got this one off of Facebook for like 25 bucks. So basically you get him lined up with that top of that cutter and you tighten him up, get him level. That's pretty close. And then the way it works is, let me take this guy, well, actually I'll just leave that on. The way it works, I'm just going to show you how it works. So basically you get your cutting tooth lined up. And then, let's see if we can get him. Oh, man. It's not quite the same. All right, there we go. Bam. All right, so now what we would do is we would bring this guy back to here. Can we get him? Having both of them on here, they don't agree about anything. There we go. Oh man, get this guy lined back up. Get him tight first, I guess. So this will come through here, and we still got a ways to go. That's pretty close, and basically you get him on there and you get him lined up, and that's about it. And this one's, to me, isn't as easy to set up as that granberg, which is the other one I'm going to show you. And I might have the wrong cutter in here, but anyway, so you get it in there and you turn this, and it sharpens it. You get it in between there in that cutting area, and it sharpens it. And it's pretty good. I've used it a little bit. I only really use that if I kind of just want to use it for whatever. But this is what I use almost all the time, almost exclusively. It's the precision grinder from Granberg. I've already done this right side. So basically the way it works is, let's do this. Is this dude, see how it goes in there? You can hear it kind of skipping along it. This is your adjuster, your in and out adjuster, which is right there. This is your up and down adjuster, so, right? And then you get him lined up, and you want about 20% of that cutter. It's not even a cutter, it's a grinding stone. And these are the grinding stones, and they correspond to the different kinds of chain. So that's like for a big chain like this. And then they've got like your, no, that's not it. Like your, here. So there's a 325. That's the most common that you see. That's like your steel farm, your 250s and your farm bosses and all that kind of stuff. Kind of like little baby saws. But anyway, so you get this guy lined up, and then up top, focus, there we go. So this is set at 30 degrees, that's 35 degrees, 30 degrees, 0 degrees, 35. So I keep it at 30 degrees, because on these oaks, they're so hard. And I really only bring this saw out for the big stuff or the really hard woods or what, you know, things of that nature, because I kind of want to do them and get them done, because it's hard on your, you know, they're hard on your saws, and the more material you remove quicker, the less wear and tear on your saw theoretically, right? So the way this works is you flip him up out of the way, and then we are at 30 degrees. So then we rotate him. We rotate that. Shoot, sorry. We rotate that. Man, I'm all over the place, aren't I? There we go. So you rotate that dude back over to 30. Make sure I'm there. Tightening back down. And then you're ready for the next side. And then we just rotate that. And then we adjust our depth. So we run it in. And then once we get where we're good and we're solid against that cutter, then we just roll with it. And the thing is you can kind of see it. You might be able to see it polish that. See how shiny that is? Let's see here. So pay attention to that right there, and watch the other one come through. Do it through the camera. See how nasty and dull it is? Push that back down. Now watch this. See how it shines it right up? And it doesn't throw a ton of sparks, so it's not heating up the steel very much. I'm going to do another one. This is a much better way to do it. So there we go. Nice and shiny and sharp. And that thing will cut you if you're not careful. I know it's loud. And it's just belt driven. Belts around here somewhere. Belts are a couple bucks a piece. Belts last 500 chains or something. You know, they last years, the belts do. So it's just a little motor in here that drives the belt that drives this. These just screw in. They're real easy. You get them at any. I get the steel ones from any steel dealer. Basically has them, and they're excellent. If you heat with firewood, they're excellent. It's way faster. It's far more accurate than a file. If somebody's going to say, "Oh, I can file a chain better than that thing can sharpen it," that's nonsense. That's bull snot. It just can't do it. I don't care how good you think you are. Can some of you potentially sharpen a chain really well with a file? Of course, but you're not going to be able to compete with this, especially the speed, the accuracy, everything combined. And you know, it's great. It's a great little tool. And if you cut a lot of firewood. If you cut a lot of firewood, or if you mill especially, these are almost essential. They're just excellent. They really, really are. They're well worth the money. They're easy to use, especially, you know, the first couple times you'll kind of fumble your way through it, but you'll get it figured out. And then once you've done it a few times, it's just bam, you're just rolling through it. But anyway, if you have any questions, I've been using this thing for like 6 or 7 years, something like that. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Again, if you cut a lot of wood, they're awesome. They are really, really worth it. But this one is the Granberg Precision Sharpener. They make a couple different kinds, but this is the 1012 XT. So, but anyway, any questions, happy to answer them. Have fun cutting some wood.